but just broadly speaking, especially because while many organizations are fortunate enough to have record retention professionals in place and on their teams, smaller businesses, medium-sized organizations, even large ones might not have that luxury. So when we think about retention, it really does fall under a formal concept of a records management program. And it's multifaceted. Like you can see on the screen here, we really need to be thinking about what data should be stored. We need to think about where, as I was mentioning, where should the storage happen, not only from even a technical perspective, but if you're a multinational, in what country should the information be stored, and how does that actually impact business operations? Thinking also about duration, and then, of course, policies, and then doubling back to the second from the bottom bullet, back to one of the things near and dear to my heart. How are you going to be certifying and auditing the fact that these things have actually taken place and that you've got proper standards in place? So we know what it is. We know that folks are either completely in the, having active programs that are actively enforced or in the process of building it. But Martin, why don't you take us through this one from a regulatory perspective, why it matters?
Yeah, of course. So as we discussed at the beginning, when we talk about data minimization and the actual sanctions that are happening in real life, we see quite a lot of them. Just when we look at the first GDPR one, the amount of money that was sanctioned is pretty low. But for that company, that was 1.8% of its annual revenue. So it was a pretty severe sanction. And it was one of the first ones. I think it took place in 2019 or so under GDPR, showing how severe it is. What did that furniture store actually do? They had a legacy system, and just reverting back to, I think, one of our first polling question, legacy system is one of your biggest challenges. They had a legacy system that they ran since the 1960s, something like an AS400 or something similar to that, and they never deleted data on that. And hence the authority said, you don't have any kind of justification to keep data for 40, 50, 60 years, and sanctioned them. Similar, when we look at the other two fines, data was kept for too long, or data, in the case of Deutsche Wohnen, was possessed, which is a real estate company, a landlord company, where they had no right to have it at all, like information about the tenants that they should have never collected.